Hello again guys, I am extremely happy that you can't see this massive stain on my grey shirt. Basically I was eating noodles, dropped the noodles on my top, so then I tried to wash the top whilst it was still on, and now I've just got this massive wet patch, so there's no point me not being able to show you. I've just explained the whole thing. Anyway, I'm back with another video on this game called Cupid, a visual novel. Yeah, hopefully, I think Sun mentioned that it would be nice if the screen did more. I think that would be cool as well, but maybe hopefully as the game goes on and the story unfolds, more action will be going on the screen. I don't know. I really hope I haven't got noodles and stuff in my teeth. I do apologise if I do. But yeah, I guess let's continue. Where was I? I guess I was on chapter 2. It's funny, is it not? Rosa. They always leave you. Such is the way of the world. The more you love, the more you lose. Oh, it seems like they'll stay forever, but they never do. I'm the only one who stays, my lovely Rose. Forgotten the voices. I'll pick 'em up, I'm sure, as I continue. My love is the only love you need. You were always so weak, always so loving to people who did not deserve it. I told you to get rid of her, didn't I? I told you to be wary. I knew it from the start, my Rose. She was nothing but selfish. She led you all astray. I thought the girl just decided to call her Rose. I didn't know that was actually her name. I don't know what's going on. Anyway. Oh. I'm supposed to choose one of these, aren't I? Let's go here. Catherine was a curse. She drove you to a love I warned you about. I knew she would just cause you pain. It saved me the trouble of delivering you from her clutches. She was poison. I am glad she is gone. Your silence bothers me, child. She was important to me, Mother. I loved her. Mother only laughed as Rosa screamed out her pain. Rosa felt strong arms shake her awake. Oh, in a different room. Oh no, the names. Okay. Rosa. She opened her eyes and was hit by a strange sadness that crushed her. She was dazed for a moment. Why was she so sad? And then she remembered. Her best friend was gone. She was gone. Rosa? How are you feeling? That voice, it reminds me of, what's his name? That, you know, from Adventure Time, that big heart, the Ice King's heart. Reminds me of him. Gilmay, I can't say his name. Gilmay, I don't know, sat by her bed and a hand in hers. Rosa didn't why can't I read? Okay. Rosa didn't realise she had been holding on to it tightly in her fitful sleep. She broke the grasp and clutched her knees. Rosa, I won't be able to talk too much because I'm under a time scale. I've got to go to the gym in an hour. My mum's picking me up and my throat hurt because I filmed 2 other videos today, booktube videos, and I was talking too much and my throat's killing me. Anyway, Rosa? She remained silent. I came to check on you. You went into shock and lost consciousness. I can only imagine how hard it must have been for you to see her like that. What happened? His words echoed in her brain, yet she did not register much of their meaning. Rosa still refused to speak, and Gilmay fidgeted with his glove. The wake will take place as soon as possible, Rosa. What have I missed? I just wanted to let you know that she's being taken care of. He's hiding something. There was a slight triumph in Mother's voice. He wants to get rid of her body as soon as possible. Did you see it, child? Tell me you're not falling for this. Rosa was tired. Mother always, the cynic, would say such things. She hated anyone who came close to Rosa's heart. Rosa didn't want to hear it. Did the little girl die? Whoa, what's going on? She didn't want to deal with anything right now. All she wanted to do was wallow in her loneliness. To curl up inside the hole Catherine had left behind and sleep. What happened to Catherine? Have I missed something? My child, tell me you see it. Remember the fear in Catherine's eyes in her last days. I'll go for that one. You have seen it, haven't you? She was mostly hostile, but sometimes when her sanity returned, she was afraid. Afraid of this man. How well do you even know him, child? I've known him for as long as I knew Catherine, Mother. He is a close friend. I didn't ask how long you've known him, but how well. Beyond the mask that he displays in public view, do you even know his past? Do you even know any of his ambitions or secrets? He was always a private man, Mother. Think back, child. Isn't it curious that all his past relationships have ended in disaster? Everything he touches crumbles. That is not enough to accuse him of anything. You idiot. He is different. He does not belong. You have felt it too, haven't you? Rosa looked at Gilmay with new eyes now. A hint of doubt slithered out from beneath her sadness. Rosa wanted something to blame. A cask for all her regrets. Gilmay seemed like the perfect candidate, didn't he? Yes, you finally see it. Open your eyes, child. It made sense. Gilmay and Catherine's relationship began to pewter. Pewter? Yeah, off into coldness right before she died. Her mental instability only served to compound the fracture in their relationship. Perhaps Gilmay was tired of her and had killed her off for convenience. Or perhaps Catherine, in her psychotic state, killed herself to spite him? Rosa stared at the man beside her. He is not to be trusted, child. He is a demon. Gilmay returned Rosa's angry stare with a resolute look. I'm really confused. We are on chapter 2, right? What has happened to Catherine? I don't remember anything terrible happening in the last one. Do you? I don't. I know you must hate me, Rosa. I am aware that I only aggravated Catherine's condition with my presence. I know the feeling when I am not wanted. He stood up, a hard yet kind look on his face. Just remember that I will always be here for you. As much as I was there for Catherine, even though she spat me out. Rosa bit her lip. When Catherine had refused to eat, it had been Gilmay who fed her and attended to her. Despite Catherine hurling abuse at him, he had tried to care for the sick woman himself. Lies, all lies. Keep up appearances. Then what is it he has done, Mother? Catherine committed suicide. It was not by his hand that she died. Are you just going to leave it at that? Look at his face and tell me you trust him wholeheartedly. Rosa tried to search for the answer in Gilmay's eyes, but as always, his face betrayed only few emotions. I don't know. Mother was screaming now. He killed her! I'm sure he did! And you're letting him get away with it! Please, my head hurts. And you say you loved her. You never loved her, you selfish child. I've always known you were this selfish. You're a monster. Just like your father. Stop. You throw people away. Didn't you throw me away when I inconvenienced you? Admit it. You were secretly relieved I died. No, stop it. She screamed back at the last voice. Her mouth quivered. Gilmay stared at Rosa in shock. The outburst had accidentally come out aloud. It pulled a plug that kept the tears from pouring out. Now her vision clouded, and she blinked them away again and again. She was not sobbing. She did not even realise her face was wet. Gilmay and Rosa stared at each other, both kindred in their sorrow. Or kindred. I don't know. He knelt down by Rosa's bed and wiped her tears with his hand. He did not say anything while doing this, and Rosa stared blankly ahead. It almost stunned her how many tears a person's eyes could carry. I loved her too, Rosa. He said it after a while. I know what you're feeling. She didn't know if it was her own or if her mother's anger was somehow influencing her, but her chest heaved. She balled her fist up so tightly that her fingernails hurt. Shut up. She spat, and the man recoiled at the uncharacteristic bitterness of her words. Catherine was afraid of you in her last days. You did something to her. I know it. She could feel Mother inside her head, building up her anger. He has to be punished. You are to blame. He has to atone. I know you are guilty. He must be punished. Gilmay stared at her dumbfounded for a few seconds, but the man didn't try to appease her. He only stepped closer to Rosa and wrapped his arms around the hysterical girl. Let go of me! I hate you, let go of me! But Gilmay didn't. If you need someone to hate, or something to hate, then I'll accept your hate. But you must accept my comfort too. I need you too right now, Rosa. You are the only one who loved her as much as I did. Gilmay's words brought back Catherine in Rosa's mind. Almost at once the anger was replaced with a sadness so heavy she couldn't breathe. Why was she so angry again? She was focusing on anger instead of pain. You know what? This could be like an ASMR sort of video, where it's just reading and some sounds. Yeah, I'm feeling that, yeah. She was focusing on anger instead of pain. It was easier. The real tears came, all for the loss of the girl they both loved. Tomorrow was not going to come. There was only right now, the loss, and two friends mourning a loved one. Rosa cried until she thought she wouldn't be able to stop, and Gilmay quietly held her. Slowly her weeping began to subside into sobs, and only then did he speak again. Stay in the chateau, Rosa. I know you are thinking of leaving now that Catherine is gone, but I can't let you wander the streets again. I will take care of you. It's what Catherine would have wanted. Like a spell being broken, these words brought back her anger. How could you possibly know what Catherine wants? She pushed his arms away from her. She's dead. Gilmay's mouth pursed and he stepped away. I want you to go. Please, leave me. Gilmay sighed and closed his eyes. I understand. Oh, that was a satisfying door shut. He turned on his heels and left without another word. Hours seemed like minutes to her. She would fall asleep and awaken in unfit intervals so often that she had lost the exact time. Awake, she would stare at a part of the wall with no coherent thoughts forming in her mind. One would think morning should be spent in a depressive frenzy. All the reasons to grieve are yours, after all. She could wail now if she wanted. She could pull on her hair, curse the skies. She could reminisce the past, admire the frailty of human lives. Unfortunately, it was something less poetic. Pain was simple. It was clean. It was a well-sharpened knife that sliced through the heart in one stroke. No blood, no mess. Empty. Oh my god, that's so true. Damn, this is getting deep. Okay. Whew. When tears were spent, there was just a hole where your heart had been. The hurt called out to you. It lingered. But since there was nothing there anymore, you couldn't find where the pain ended and you began. Rosa slept all day. The sun had gone down twice before she shifted from her bed. She stood up slowly, deliberately, without purpose. My child, you know I hurt when you hurt. Already a surge of power flowed within her, fueled by her grief. The power filled her up, and there was so much emptiness inside that the energy seemed to saturate her whole body. Purpose was always a balm for grief. Mother, tell me what to do. Or retribution, isn't that going to be her hurting herself or something? And justice is going to be her hurting someone else? I don't know. Oh, whichever one I thought was bad. Retribution, I don't know. Start with his guilt, child. Uncover his lives. Crush his mask. He may pay for everything he has done. Oh, this is a pretty scene. Oh, achievement unlocked. A grudge. Ooh. Rosa didn't speak, but she started to form the words in her mind, feeling them in her bones, giving life to every thought. Also, I realised in the last video you can't actually see my achievements, can you? My achievements, rather. So it's just me looking at an invisible little portion up in the corner saying, I've got an achievement. Do you believe me? You should. She took a small knife and carved a symbol on the floor. It didn't need much. A guilt spell. Spells now? Okay. It didn't aim to punish, it only aimed to inform. She needed to know how much guilt the man carried and the source of such guilt. If the guilt was concrete and came from a direct action, then she would know Gilmay did something to Catherine. It had been a while since she had used magic. Oh, I wasn't expecting this, I'm excited, okay. It used to be the only way she could protect herself from the world. Mother had taught her, and now Mother guided her as she cast her spell. She needed possession of the man. Rosa opted for his voice, still fresh from memory. She focused on the last conversation they shared. I'm thirsty. Sorry. I'm running out. If you need something to hate, I will take care of you. I need you. His words made Rosa feel distress and confusion. Always it was this way with him. The feeling wasn't foreign. It had been there for years. How long has, time spanned on? I don't understand how we've jumped to such a different situation. Are you guys confused as much as me? Because I feel like I've missed a whole section. But I went on my last save file. I went on to chapter 2 that I needed to be on. I'm just completely lost right now. I don't know what's happening. Anyway, I will always be here for you. Fucking hell. Rosa felt a violent force upturn her stomach. It was a horrid lurch just before vomiting. You failed! The spell collapsed in her brain. Focus, idiot child, or you'll lose your chance. Rosa tried again. This time she focused on Gilmay's eyes. Cold. Like flints of steel. Dark and fathomless. No grief except perhaps for the situation. No Catherine. No pain of loss. This didn't matter to her. The relationship was dying anyway. Where was his guilt? Rosa dug deeper. She increased the chanting on her lips. No torment. No uncertainty. No guilt. Did the spell fail again? She searched once more and found nothing. There was no guilt in Gilmay's eyes. She could stop the spell now, knowing that he was innocent. If the spell had worked, then Gilmay was blameless. But this absence was more distressing. Rosa desperately pushed her mind further, almost wishing there were traces hiding beyond her reach. Guilt should be present in any loss, no matter how little. Don't we blame ourselves for our own loss? Don't we hate ourselves and punish ourselves even if it wasn't our fault? It didn't have to be real, but we need guilt to feel pain. But Gilmay didn't have a slither of guilt. I don't like that sudden red. The vicious pain took hold of her again, squeezing her stomach with murderous intent. The pain was so great Rosa wasn't sure if the spell had failed or succeeded. Something was wrong. Rosa could agree with Mother. She felt a sharp pain in her throat. Rosa clutched her neck, scraping, scratching. A sharp, jagged lump was blocking her breathing. She could feel its edges crawl up her windpipe, tearing the soft walls as it moved about. The pain did not stop. Rosa fell to her knees and gagged. That sudden light is like, you know when it's really, really sunny and your eyes are closed but you can still see the orange through your eyelids? That's what it reminds me of, and it hurts my eyes. I do not like it. She thrashed about like a woman being strangled. Mother remained calm, unaffected by Rosa's distress. Rosa was about to expel whatever it was. Tears ran down her face. The horrible acidic taste coated her tongue. Finally, she opened her mouth and forced the vile thing out. She kept her eyes shut, afraid to look at whatever had come out of her. But the choking feeling gripped her and she puked again. She spat after she vomited. Her spit felt heavy and thick in her mouth. It gathered around her knees in a growing pool. Rosa panted. Every breath was laced with pain. But the gruesome effect had finally stopped. She wiped the sweat from her forehead. Something on the floor reflected light. She struggled to comprehend what was in front of her. She reached out with her hand, and the prick of something sharp made her recoil. She tried again this time, seeing more clearly. Rosa picked them up with shaking hands. Needles. Oh my god, they were coming out of her throat. In her palms were a handful of long metal needles. Rosa examined them with a horrified kind of curiosity. She stuck one in her thumb and it drew blood. They were real. They had materialised in her throat while casting the spell on Gilmay. Rosa wiped her mouth. There was something wrong with him. Something potent and dark. Or could it be that she had merely botched the spell horribly? She had pushed her limits this time. She had gone too far. But still, a tugging concern was forming. It was as real as the metal needles in her hand. Rosa tried to stand up on her feet, but she was exhausted. Her knees failed her, and she crumpled on the floor like a rag. Are you quite all right, my darling? Now, you see it too. There is a sinister force at work. Get up! We have a lot of work to do. We must find out what he is and stop him. Rosa stared at the needles in her hand. Who are you really, Gilmay? Oh gosh. Chapter 3. Portraits Candlelit. Oh gosh, right. I think I'm going to end that here for today. I think this was a little bit shorter than before. I am so confused. Honestly, I don't know what the heck happened. I don't know, like, how it escalated so quickly. But I guess I'm enjoying it. I'm kind of happy that it's escalating a little bit quicker because we're getting to more of the actiony bit, more of like the suspense, scary stuff, like sooner. Because I mean, the beginning, like chapter 1, it was interesting. I liked the style and everything, but it was a bit boring, a little too chatty, a little bit too happy and cute. So I'm excited to get to the darker stuff. I'm just still left a bit like, how did this happen so quickly, you know? But yeah, I will speak to you in another video soon. Thank you for watching. Bye.